Have you ever dreamt about taking a cruise on one of them fancy boats, soaking up the beauty and the magic just to free your soul? It's floating on the ocean, just a notion that seems out of reach. One thing on your bucket list is just to go and see the beach. You wanna see the world, but something always holds you back. You got that itching feeling, but your dreams got hijacked. There's lots of people out there that never get to cruise, but Helping Hands is helping making dreams come true.
Helping Hands for cruising, cruising. Helping Hands for cruising, cruising. Helping Hands for cruising, making your dream a reality.
You know you gotta do the things you've only dreamed about. Don't let anything stop you thinking you can't go all out. You can do the things you never thought were possible with Helping Hands to help you get there. Even oceans are no obstacle. You wanna see the world, but something always holds you back. You got that itching feeling, but your dreams got hijacked. There's lots of people out there that never get to cruise, but Helping Hands is helping making dreams come true.
Helping Hands for cruising, cruising. Helping Hands for cruising, cruising. Helping Hands for cruising, making your dream a reality.
So if you ever dreamed about taking a cruise in one of them big old boats, soaking up that sun, feel that breeze, yeah, there is still hope. Don't let the ocean be a notion that is out of reach. Let's get together, help each other, and go see the sea. You wanna see the world, but something always holds you back. You've got that itching feeling, but your dreams got hijacked. There's lots of people out there that never get to cruise, but Helping Hands is helping making dreams come true.
Helping Hands for cruising, cruising. Helping Hands for cruising, cruising. Helping Hands for cruising, making your dream a reality. Helping Hands for cruising, cruising. Helping Hands for cruising, cruising. Helping Hands for cruising, making your dream a reality.
Hi, Michael Ann here from Michael Ann Spoiled Mama on YouTube. I do live streams on Thursday nights at 6 p.m. Eastern, and I do the occasional pop-up live. I cover a wide variety of topics, from live action roleplay to cooking to essential oils, travel, family, and most recently, cruising. I had the honor, through the generosity of a friend, to be able to be a part of the inaugural Helping Hands for Cruising group cruise aboard the Carnival Horizon. Myself and about 45 other people, representing about 27 other channels and supporters, to be on the inaugural cruise. And we were able to accompany our first recipient, Kenny, or as we know him, Boardman, aka Kenneth Oakes, on this incredible experience of a lifetime. We were also able to meet up with about 4 or 5 other supporters and channels pre-cruise at a meetup. You can only imagine how excited Kenny was boarding that ship on the first day, or the first seeing the ocean, or so many other first, sampling new foods. It was a first for me too. I've seen the ocean many times, but it was my first time aboard a cruise ship. And I know how excited I was. Since the inaugural cruise, there have been 2 other couples that have been recipients of a group cruise in March of 2023. Looking to the future, I am excited to see there are many more cruises coming up with potential for more recipients to receive a cruise. In April of this year, 2023, I had the honor of being voted onto the board of Helping Hands for Cruising as the first Canadian member. I'm so excited for the possibilities this opens up. But we can't do it without the support of you or others. Please donate if you can. Share us out among the communities. We want to be able to have recipients worldwide go on cruises of a lifetime. We appreciate any support we can get, helping us grow, so that we can make it a dream a reality for so many others. Check our website, Helping Hands 4 cruising.org. Subscribe to Helping Hands for Cruising YouTube channel if you haven't already. Join us on August 25th and 26th for our Cruiseathon. And if you're seeing this in the future, watch for other Cruiseathons and activities. We appreciate you, everyone. Thanks for your time. Bye for now.
Welcome aboard, folks. Nice to have you here. It is the Tuesday Chatting with Sean session, and welcome aboard. Nice to have you all here. I see in the chat right now we've got the Down Under Cruisers. Have no idea who that channel is, but welcome aboard anyway. Nice to have you here, and any new channel that or any new people that come on board, always a pleasure to have you on board. Now, today we're chatting about the last board meeting, and there are a couple of questions I know people are asking, and as a result, I'm going to answer some of those questions to the best of my abilities. First of all, let's get to the rub with the board meeting. That was held on Saturday evening, our time, morning, for those of you that are across the pond. Our first order of business was welcoming on board our new board member, Darian from Magnificent Germany. With Darian, Darian has been associated with Helping Hands for Cruising from day dot. In fact, Darian is one of those that is responsible for getting Helping Hands set up, due to the fact that he had young Mr. Kenneth Oakes with him on a place in Helen, Georgia, the Anarubi Falls. And that Anarubi Falls is the whole reason why Kenneth Oakes made it to the very first cruise, the inaugural cruise for Helping Hands. So it is with much excitement and enjoyment that we bring Darian on board. And Darian has got a lot of experience in terms of all the promotional stuff. So, and have you ever tried to shut Darian up? It's really hard, but the best way to do that is just stick a spoonful of spaghetti ice in his mouth, and that shuts him up real quick. So there we go. In actual fact, at that board meeting, it was the first time I'd ever seen Darian quiet. He was like a deer with his eyes in headlights. Big dinner plates and all that sort of. It was great to watch. But we are privileged to have him on board, and we so look forward to it. All right, now the elephant in the room, the question that everybody's asking: is the RnR Tribute Cruise going on? Well, officially, we have not had any notification from NCL to say that the cruise is actually cancelled. It's all come out of social media, third party, and with social media having it say, well, we're waiting for it to come out of the horse's mouth. So as soon as NCL tells us what's going on, we will be able to come back to you and say, okay, this is what's happening with the RnR Tribute Cruise. Worst case scenario, we go on to another ship and we leave a day or two afterwards. Having said that, we are looking forward to the RnR Tribute Cruise. The band has got itself all set up, or the bands in plural have got themselves all set up. I know that Ross is getting himself all organised. And the 62 cabins that we've got sold, well, that all the people that are on those cabins are certainly looking forward to getting on board the cruise. So we just have to wait. Bruce is currently having negotiations with NCL to find out exactly what's going on, what's happening. So as soon as we know more, folks, we'll come back to you. Please stay in touch with us. Please do not go out to social media. The social media itself, like the TikToks and the Facebooks and all that sort of stuff, you're getting third-party, third-handed news, and we'd rather you got it directly from us. I hope that makes it quite clear. All right, so the next thing that we had a discussion with on the board was we are definitely looking for people who are willing to, whether they sponsor or donate or whatever it is, but we're looking at people who are willing to provide some dollars into the Helping Hands for Cruising system. Because as you know, Helping Hands for Cruising does not have any employees. The charity is purely 150% funded by everybody who's on the board, and we pay for every person who gets on board a cruise ship. As a result, the only way that the charity can work is if we get more money coming in, and the more money we get in, the more people we can put on board a cruise ship. So the next cruise that we've got coming up is the Alaska cruise, which is being run by Ocean to Ocean Travel. I will be putting up a promo for that shortly. And on that cruise, we have, and I'm happy to say, we have a recipient booked for that cruise, and that recipient will go on board. We just need to notify Bruce and keep him up to date so that he knows who he's got and what he's got to deal with on board the cruise ship. So it's going to be fantastic. The RnR Tribute Cruise is going to have 2 recipients right now. So that could go to 3, you never know, or 4. But the good news is there is provision right now for 2. We do have 2 names. One of them is a definite. The other one, we're just waiting on some health factors to take care. So right now, the 2 cruises that we've got coming up do have a recipient on board. Now, if you are a creator and you decide you want to run a group cruise and take a recipient along with you, just put together a 2 to 5 minute video telling us why you feel you should be accepted as a hosting cruise, and it will go to the board. The board will have a discussion about it, and then it'll either be accepted or rejected. I think in our time we've only rejected 1 cruise. Every other cruise that we've had booked has actually been accepted. And the reason for the rejection, well, it varies. It depends. If we feel that the cruise is going to an area that we can't make sure the recipient will remain safe, we won't use that cruise. We won't endorse it. If we feel uncomfortable with the person who's running the show on that cruise, we won't endorse it, because at the end of the day, we take the responsibility of the recipient, and we want that recipient to have the best time they can ever have. We don't want them to be in a compromising position. As a result, we will vet the cruise and make sure that we feel that that would be a cruise that the recipient would benefit from. So that said, if you know of somebody who you feel would benefit from a cruise, the criterion is that they've never had a chance to cruise, life's hit them in the guts, and they are incapable of paying for a cruise, of getting away, of having some respite. Well then, hey, they're a candidate for the HH4C benefit of going on a cruise. If they are disabled or they are the carer of somebody disabled, they have the benefit of going on board the cruise. So the more people we get, the better. That basically, the more people we get on board as a recipient, it basically means that we actually get more people coming on board and sailing with us anyway, that are able-bodied and able to actually assist and get on with it. So, so please, if you know of somebody, and they don't necessarily have to come from the cruising community, they could be anybody. They could be somebody you know who's a military person. They could be, I don't know, your old pharmacist that you went to every day of the week and you loved him to bits. He's never had the opportunity, or she's never had the opportunity to go on board a cruise ship, and all they've ever done is taken care of the community or their loved ones or whatever the case might be. Put together a 2 to 5 minute video about them and get them into us. We'll have a look. We'll see the benefit, and it's either yes or no. Nothing to lose. We don't want you to put a family member on board the cruise. If that's the case, we ask you to get somebody else to do it. And if you know the person personally, the board members will actually recuse themselves from making any decisions. For example, Ross put up a couple of people. He was not allowed to vote for those people because he put them up. So there we go. There's the rub about it, the info about it. Please, folks, come on board. And you know what? We're also looking for people who are willing to go on those cruises and help us take care of the recipients as well. Because what we've found is that if you get a recipient on board and you go, okay, you're on board the cruise ship now, they're going to go, so what do we do? Where do we go? How do we do this? So we want people who are cruise savvy to go on board with those recipients and help make their time an awesome reality. Number of people will tell you, all you got to do is look at people like Kenneth Oakes or James and Cindy Catanese. They'll tell you they had the whale of a time. Roxy, this last cruise, she'll tell you she had an amazing time. Scott and Amber Hicks, you look at them and boy, they're like a shot in there. So, folks, the more people we get on board, the better it is. But what I will say is, if you do have access to some people who have got slightly deeper pockets than you might have, we ask you please to approach them and ask them how they'd like to assist or promote anything to do with the Helping Hands for Cruising Group cruises. For example, right now, I know that Ross is looking for some sponsors to help him with the RnR Tribute Cruise. We're trying to get certain things funded, and we're hoping that a sponsor will come and do that. Now, if you're a sponsor and you do decide to sponsor some of the events or some of the cruises or whatever the case might be, you get listed as part of the advertising, obviously, big letters. Your name is everywhere, and the whole world knows that you've assisted Helping Hands for Cruising. So there we go, folks. We're really excited about what our future. Right now, we're a 501c3 in the US. We've got foot underway to get the Australian side of things up and running. We are looking at getting a 501c3 equivalent in Canada, and we also want to expand out to every continent, all 7 continents, and all 355 million countries. And if we can do that, can you imagine what better way to have peace and bring peace to the world than get people on board a cruise ship? I reckon that would be absolutely unbelievable. Our goal in time is a cruise a month, culminating in the huge, whether it's a full ship charter or whether it's a few cabins sold on an annual basis. We want to have like an annual cruise somewhere. So there's some big goals happening, and we're also looking at the Down Under Cruises are looking at a cruise going in round about January of 27. So we're looking at a ship that would assist and an itinerary that would certainly go down like you wouldn't believe. So there we go. That's what we're looking at right now. What I'm going to do is get Bruce's video up so that you can see what Alaska is going to be like.
Have you been dreaming of an Alaskan cruise? Or maybe you've taken one before and you just can't wait to go again. If so, the Helping Hands for Cruising Group Cruise is just the cruise for you. June 15th through June 22nd, 2025, you will set sail on the magnificent Norwegian Encore. This amazing group cruise will take you to Juneau, Skagway, a majestic cruise through Glacier Bay, Ketchikan, a stop in Victoria, British Columbia before arriving back in Seattle. Contact Bruce at ocean2oceantravel.com today to find out how you can be a part of this fantastic group cruise to Alaska. This is one you definitely don't want to miss.
Too right. This is one you definitely do not want to miss. And folks, let me say, we should find out a little bit later on this evening whether or not we were successful or not. But if we are successful in the winnings of the lottery that's up for this evening, we certainly would be, because it'd be substantial funds, we certainly would be booking ourselves on board that cruise, the Alaska cruise, because it's one of our bucket list places. And yes, we would love the opportunity to actually go check it out. So there we go. Never been to Seattle, never been to Alaska, and we'd love the opportunity to do both. All right. Well, that's all the news I have for you right now. As time goes by, I will come back on and fill you in with a whole bucket load more info. So what I'm going to do, folks, is I'm going to actually call it quits for this evening. Please join us for the Down Under Cruises tomorrow evening at 8 p.m. Melbourne time, which is Sparrowfight, your time across the pond. But please join us. We will be chatting about cruising and what's going on around town. And if we have more answers about the Rock and Roll Tribute, I certainly will be giving them out then. Otherwise, we're looking at Friday night, 10 p.m. Eastern across the pond. And on our side of town, it'll be 2 p.m. Saturday Arvo, where Ilana will be joining me on our usual live stream. Anyway, folks, have an awesome day. We'll catch up with you later. Take it easy, and thanks for your attendance. Have a great day. Bye.
Have you ever dreamt about taking a cruise on one of them fancy boats, soaking up the beauty and the magic just to free your soul? It's floating on the ocean, just a notion that seems out of reach. One thing on your bucket list is just to go and see the beach. You wanna see the world, but something always holds you back. You got that itching feeling, but your dreams got hijacked. There's lots of people out there that never get to cruise, but Helping Hands is helping making dreams come true.
Helping Hands for cruising, cruising. Helping Hands for cruising, cruising. Helping Hands for cruising, making your dream a reality.
You know you gotta do the things you've only dreamed about. Don't let anything stop you thinking you can't go all out. You can do the things you never thought were possible with Helping Hands to help you get there. Even oceans are no obstacle. You wanna see the world, but something always holds you back. You got that itching feeling, but your dreams got hijacked. There's lots of people out there that never get to cruise, but Helping Hands is helping making dreams come true.
Helping Hands for cruising, cruising. Helping Hands for cruising, cruising. Helping Hands for cruising, making your dream a reality.
So if you ever dreamed about taking a cruise in one of them big old boats, soaking up that sun, feel that breeze, yeah, there is still hope. Don't let the ocean be a notion that is out of reach. Let's get together, help each other, and go see the sea. You wanna see the world, but something always holds you back. You've got that itching feeling, but your dreams got hijacked. There's lots of people out there that never get to cruise, but Helping Hands is helping making dreams come true.
Helping Hands for cruising, cruising. Helping Hands for cruising, cruising. Helping Hands for cruising, making your dream a reality. Helping Hands for cruising, cruising. Helping Hands for cruising, cruising. Helping Hands for cruising, making